Alright, in this video I'm going to show you a little project that actually helps illustrate some of what we're doing when we're taking a variable and then outputting it to the DOM. You know, we're actually taking something and then processing that in a JavaScript function. We're clicking on something and then it is giving us an output. So this is kind of just a fun little thing I made up. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them American degrees, Fahrenheit degree value, and then we're going to hit full send, and then it's going to give us the communist translation to Celcius, which is going to output over here, right? So I'm going to kind of break down this code real quick so that I can show you all what exactly I did here. So we just got a simple HTML setup, which is where our JavaScript is living in, right here. And what I have right here is I have a div that holds the input, and we have an input that has an ID of F so that we can, in our JavaScript, say, hey, I want to get F, which is this box down here, right? So we got that input. That's one of the things. It's a core principle of JavaScript that you're gonna want to remember. Is just that you can designate what HTML fields are gonna give you what values by IDs and classes, right? The value is blank right here. Cool, and we have this button, this button right here, and when we fire off this right here, it says OnClick to Celcius. This is a function right here. So when we click button ID button boy, which is a stupid name for an ID, but anyhow, try to give your IDs names that make sense, right? But we'll say this button boy right here. We click it, it's going to turn it to Celcius, right? And then down here we have all of our other just H2, a div, and H4, right? And then we have an ID. It's a Celcius display. So we have down here, this is where it's going to come out. So it's going to be inside of this right here. So you just gave inside of this one right here. You give your open and closing tag in HTML, give it an ID, and it's going to pop in right there. So it's going to pop up in that H4 element right there. Okay, so down here we have our script just at the bottom, and we have our function to Celcius, right? We have no parameters that we're putting into this function right here. We just have our curly braces, and then we make a variable, right? So we say variable F, which is that ID of F, right? We're going to go to that document, and we're going to get the element ID of F, and then we're going to get its value. So when you insert into an input, then it's going to give you a value. So you get that value, right, which will be whatever number we put in there, right? And then that's going to be this variable. So the number goes in right now. So the value of F right now will be 30. And then if I change it, it'll be 40, right? So F is kind of a dynamic, but it's not going to be triggered until we fire this off, right? Whenever we click this button, then it's going to say, hey, what is the input of this box currently? And then we're going to hit the document, and we're going to get the element by ID Celcius display right here, and then we're going to make its inner HTML equal the formula for Celcius, which is 5/9 times F minus 32. And F, which we know what F is because whatever we put in here, that's how this is going to work, right? So we declare this variable up here so that below it knows what it is. And let's go ahead and run this. I'll show you. I'm just going to have 40, and that is 4 degrees Celsius. So let's see what like 100 degrees Fahrenheit is. Only 37 degrees Celsius, right? And so yeah, this is just kind of like a fun little way for you to see like how that works and everything. This is just like a simple little just illustration of that concept right there. So, and you're doing this all the time, right? But sometimes you're doing this all the time on the web, and most of the time you're inputting into a form, which then when you hit this button right here, it's initiating a function, which is then sending information like a sign-up form, sending your information to a database where then it's stored, and then it later is rendered into the DOM All right, it's going to be visible when you go to like your login page or something like that. So it's a pretty cool concept, and this will help you when you're moving forward with JavaScript and you're actually diving into deeper concepts that involve just putting things to the DOM. So anyhow, I hope that this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.